catch the life. Welcome, who just arrived, daddy and daughter. Double jeopardy, darker. Different topic, saga. Learn something before your departure. Grab a cup of tea, coffee, water. Make we reason, make we reason. Podcast throughout the season. Make we reason, make we reason.
We're both immigrants from the lovely island of Jamaica. Since we've been living in the United States for more than 15 years, we definitely have some old and new topics to discuss. Some of us have an old school view of life,
while some of us have a fascinating vantage point. We still try to find commonality in the gray areas. Our Jamaican American experience gives us a unique perspective to which you may also relate. Join us as we agree and disagree, or agree to disagree on any topic. We just talk, and we love it.
We are a daddy-daughter duo,
and we have something to say about everything
that we can agree on.
Welcome back to Make We Reason. Thanks for listening. I have met P. Diddy, DJ Khaled, Timbaland, and the other person I would definitely like to meet is the incomparable Grace Jones. Hi, my name is Nellie.
All right, welcome back, listeners, to the podcast, friends and family. The most exotic trip I've taken was on a boat sailing on the mighty Amazon River in Brazil. That was quite a few years ago. Hello, my name is T. Rob. Welcome back to the podcast.
I have questions. Like, were you scared? Were like mosquitoes biting you? Like, does it look like in the movies, you know?
There are parts of the river which reminds you of the movies, but on a whole, it was just like any other river. When you go in the jungle, it was a little bit different. Parts of the river is in the jungle, and you see the floating houses and everything. It was quite interesting.
I really want to do that.
Yeah, but
Well,
it was a great trip.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, thanks for listening, guys. It's now time for Wild Wild World News. Hey.
Wild Wild World News!
Well, books travel, and they travel far and long, and they're pretty resilient. Wild Wild World News is taken from Scotland this time around, and it's the case of the overdue book returned to the library after 73 years. Imagine a book being overdue for 73 years. That book probably doesn't exist, right?
Wow.
Well, this happened in Dunfermline, Scotland, where this book from this library was borrowed in 1948 by a certain person. And so it was pretty much lost or not returned. But after 73 years of being out there in the wilderness, this book was returned, mailed to the library. The librarian or the person in charge, when she got the mail, she just burst out laughing.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's all she could do. But just in case you think of a book being kept for so long.
Right.
You know, a book, you can easily throw it in the trash. The pages can flare out or fall apart. The book can fall apart. Anything can happen to that book, right? But for the book to be intact, in decent shape, and legible, that's quite a feat for a book to go through for 73 years. So the case of the overdue book returned after 73 years is a Wild Wild World news story for me.
So, okay. I remember when I forgot to return a library book and they hounded me with fees. So imagine the fees that would have been associated with that library book.
£3,181.
Oh my goodness! I mean, at this point, they don't have to write that off because
they wrote it off for the fact that they want to encourage books that are overdue to be returned. So they stopped. They put a moratorium on overdue fees.
Okay.
For books.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Okay.
So for my Wild Wild World news, Dad, where were you in I mean, where you needed to be in Carlsbad, California, when a Brinks truck was spilling cash over the freeway
Oh,
on the I-5. Where were you? Where were you, Dad? Like, come on.
I was at home watching the news, seeing the
It
money
was
on the freeway.
right. Oh my goodness. That's probably like a pie in the sky kind of dream for like
Yeah,
anybody. Like, man, I wish this money would just burst out.
yeah, but here's the problem. Here's the
What?
problem. You can't take it.
What do you mean?
You can't take it. You'll go to jail.
Because what?
It's stolen money.
No, it's not stolen
Yes,
money.
yes, it was clear on the
No.
news. It was clear on the news that if you
Hey,
take this money, you can be arrested for
finders
stolen money.
keepers. Hey, I see. Unless these people that I saw on the
On the
on
news.
social media,
Right.
are they gonna go to jail?
If once they're identified, they're going to jail for stealing.
Oh man, that ain't even right.
It was
Mm-mm.
clear on the news that
Give people a
it
chance.
was if you take this money, once you're identified, it's best to return this money,
That's
or
why it's good.
else if
That's why it's good to have your mask on at all times.
that's good.
So, welcome to our Caribbean things. I just want to start off saying that I've never been to Cuba. I want to go to Cuba, and thanks to Caribbean Airlines, December 2021, they have no resumed flights to Cuba. So,
Wow,
T-Rob come may take a flight to Cuba.
that would
I,
be wonderful.
I mean, when we go to Jamaica, of course, because I don't
Yeah.
think there's direct flights from here. But for sure, I definitely want to visit Cuba.
So we have to smuggle ourselves in from Jamaica.
Right. Hey, all that illegal talk on the podcast. All right.
It's more like a
Oh,
smuggling operation, right?
right. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things. I hope the situation gets better where we can actually travel freely there,
Yeah.
but who knows?
Different topic saga. Learn something before your departure. Grab a cup of tea, coffee, water. Make we reason.
Welcome to Jamaican Jeopardy. I am your host, Nelly, and today's contestant is T-Rob.
Yes.
Welcome, T-Rob. Our category for today is accoutrement, aka accoutrements in Jamaican Patois. The explanation of accoutrements is things, miscellaneous stuff, as the Americans would call it. So let's begin. Are you ready, T-Rob?
Yes, I'm ready.
Our first question. A furniture piece that displays figurines.
Whatnot.
You're correct. A beauty item that is used on the fingernails.
Q-tex.
Correct.
In Jamaican language, right?
Right. A small pot used for human waste, typically stored under the bed or the bathroom.
Oh, that's a chimney.
Exactly.
We might have to explain this to our American counterparts.
Or chimney, but
All
not
right.
the chimney that, who you guys are used to.
All right.
A cactus-like plant used for skin and black magic.
All right. That sounds like Sinkle Bible.
Exactly. AKA
Sinkle Bible.
AKA aloe vera, guys.
Aloe vera, Sinkle Bible.
A tiny sharp wood attached to plants or trees or fruits.
Makka.
Exactly. Or thorns.
This is fun.
African black magic practices that typically requires oil of this or oil of that.
Obeah.
Uh-huh. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Detached facilities where the community or the family goes to relieve themselves.
Detached. Pit toilet.
Correct. A plumbing item located in the center of the community to catch water.
Standpipe.
Correct. An apparition or a general name to describe Rolling Calf or the Wicked Witch of Rose Hall.
Duppy.
Exactly. Correct. A scavenger bird that usually appears around deceased animals.
Jankro.
Yes.
AKA vulture.
Right. A gymnastic move that requires flipping on your head.
Oh. Pupalik. Or kin pupalik.
I had to laugh at that one. Last question. A stick-like hygiene item with cotton on both ends.
Q-tip.
Correct. And you have won the consolation prize.
Thank you. I still keep my
Good
Jamaican
job.
card.
Right. Yes, you keep your Jamaican card to you, Rob. Thank you so much for participating, and let's continue with our topic.
That was fun.
All right. So, we named a few words here. We brought up a few words here that I think our American counterparts are probably confused about. So, whatnot. Okay, let's address whatnot. What would be the first? How would you describe a whatnot to an American?
It's a furniture item with shelves and,
Mm-hmm.
storage to put your china, your dishes, and then the shelves to put your figurines. We have
Right.
figurines in Jamaica where we display those, and those are, common household items when you display your figurines on the whatnot. And then you have
Mm-hmm.
storage underneath to store your
Probably food items or.
your cutlery or your china or whatever it is,
Mhm.
right?
I used
It's
my
called a
grandma used to
whatnot.
put my grandmother used to put food under there,
Yeah,
like flour
flour
and
storage.
cornmeal. Hmm.
Yeah. And I wonder why we call it whatnot. Is that what you don't have
No,
goes on there?
I think it's because it's like I think it's like a miscellaneous item, like
Right.
and whatnot,
Whatnot.
yeah,
Whatnot means miscellaneous. Right.
right, and
Right.
whatnot. Put it up in
Right.
whatnot,
So ladies and gentlemen, we just basically just named a piece of furniture whatnot. It's put whatever you have on there,
right.
miscellaneous items on there.
Because a
So
TV could hold on to whatnot
yes, the
if
TV
it's big
usually
enough.
goes on the whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is true.
So our next one is Q-Tex. Now, as a girl growing up, Q-Tex was the brand in Jamaica. And so, of course, all these other ones came into, on the shelves, but that's the thing about us. We continue to call all nail polishes Q-Tex. That's
Q-Tex.
just
Yes.
what it is.
Right.
Same thing can go for Q-tip, and we forgot to include one, Dad. Pampers. So Pampers is diapers. Q-tip is, I don't know what we would call that.
Cotton
What's a
swab. Cotton
cotton
swab.
swab? There you go. I didn't even know what cotton. I didn't even know what to say with that. So we call those things by the brand rather than what it is.
Right.
So
So every nail polish is Q-Tex.
right.
And we just use that Q-Tex brand and just paint pardon the pun, and just paint everything that's pertaining to our nail polish as Q-Tex.
Right.
All
All
right.
right, Dad. Chimmy. That's your favorite.
Yeah. Well, a chimney, to be honest, I didn't know the proper word was chimney.
Yeah.
I didn't associate it with that at all.
It was CHIMMI. MMY.
But this is a potty training tool that you used to have. But as a matter of fact, it was before potty training, because what happens is when I was growing up, there was an outside latrine or a toilet, the outhouse, as you would call it here in the Americas, right? And so at night, the children, to avoid the children going out to the outhouse in the middle of the night to pee or whatever they want to do, you have an indoor piece of tool called the chimney that you would pee in or do whatever you need to do in the chimney as a kid. So that will save you from going outside and getting mosquito bites or, getting a draft of cold air to go out in the outhouse. And it's scary in the outhouse. So you use a chimney. But it's been used as a potty training mechanism as well. So serves two purpose. Yeah. I don't know how chimney comes to be the name. I just don't understand the origins of it.
Because even if they are the correct word, chimney,
yeah,
that doesn't serve that purpose.
Right,
So
exactly. So there's
that's kind of weird.
there's a gap there.
Yeah.
So if somebody knows, kindly explain that to us, please. We'd love to hear. Chimney, where does chimney come from?
All right. The big one you have explained to me earlier, Sinkle Bible.
Sinkle Bible.
AKA aloe vera, one of my favorite plants.
Yes. I don't know if it's Sinkle Bible. I hear Sinkle Bible and I hear Single Bible.
Whenever you're single,
I hear
that would be too proper, I think.
Well, I think it was single Bible, but people mispronounce it and call it Sinkle Bible. Because here's how I think it got its name. If you cut the aloe vera, which is what we call Sinkle Bible, in two flat and open it out, it reads like a book. It looks like 2 pages on a book, left and right pages. So they call it, I guess that's where it gets the Bible name from. But I think it's Single Bible, mispronounced Sinkle Bible. That's just my guess, right? So that's the only explanation I have for Sinkle Bible.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's different. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know. How about Makka?
Makka, I don't have a clue. How thorns turned out to be Makka.
Yeah.
I don't have a clue.
Based on even the sound of it, I feel like there's some danger associated with it. It's very harsh.
Yeah, Makka.
Right. So I feel like that's how they describe something that is dangerous. Like normally when something is dangerous to you, the pronunciation is very harsh on the tongue.
Yeah.
So I feel like, that was just their word. I mean, I'm not quite sure where it developed from, but that's how they describe the thorn.
Right. There's a lot of words that we use in the Jamaican language, which are original African words taken from some languages in Africa, right? They're African words. So Makka, I'm assuming, is one of those words.
And to piggyback on your African words, remember I read to you some of those words that came from, like, directly from Africa, and one of those things were redibo. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Where redibo is used to describe somebody who is of a lighter complexion. And red Igbo is somebody of the Igbo tribe, and they're normally of a lighter complexion.
Oh,
so
there you go.
What you're saying is definitely along the lines of that,
right?
And then what is it that we said was another doti? The doti, right? Doti is actually work, not dirt, or to be dirty. When they said the phrase the doti tough, is actually the work is hard.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's another word that we also got from Africa. But at the same time, dirty means dirty at the same time for us. So it's a very, very, very interesting way how we, describe our situations.
Right. And for our American counterparts, this language, this dialect, Patois, it's spoken in, I think, a few places. Jamaica, and what I know for sure is Antigua, they have a version of Patois, which I've heard.
Also in parts of Nigeria, because my Yeah, because my husband says when he went over there and was talking Patois, they could understand him.
Oh,
And
really?
Ghana too, yes.
In Ghana.
Because it's pidgin English,
Yeah.
if for the most part. It's pidgin English.
Right.
So, we can't mention the Jamaican vernacular, the Jamaican dialect without our own Miss, I guess the Honorable Miss Louise Bennett. She is the advocate for Jamaican culture and the language. So definitely let's hear what Miss Lou has to say.
You see, it's because all this folklore and this culture that we have come from all the different people who have lived in the country, and we just use it, and now we have a real West Indian, a real Jamaican culture. For my auntie wrote to say, when the Asian culture and the European culture buck up an African culture in the Caribbean people, we stir them up and blend them to a flavor.
So that was definitely Miss Lou, and how she explained how the Jamaican language came together. It was just explain what you guys said before.
A mixture of the British, the French, and all the other cultures
Right.
poured into one, and we flavor it.
But you did bring up a point. You were explaining to me a point that I already know. That it was a way that they were trying to learn English, but they were purposely, messing up the words so that they didn't lose their native tongue or their
communication
African.
channels.
Right. So they would purposely mess up some of those words to talk amongst each other, so that maybe the massa wouldn't understand what they were saying amongst each other.
That's why you hear so much English words. You hear words that sounds like it's from a different language. It can be from the African language. And there's even French, because you heard when Nelly come up with accoutrement, and we call it accoutrements.
Accoutrements.
You heard that reference earlier. So that's a prime example of how many different languages are just poured into a mixture, and you get the Jamaican dialect. It's fun.
Right.
I have no regrets.
Yes, me either. I love the way I talk. But definitely let's start with some of the basics though. Like, okay, so let's go ahead and let's start at home. So when you are born, you have your government name, as we would call it, and you have your yard name or your nickname.
Nickname, big
And
thing.
that would be right, and that would be based on your character, or something about you.
Your characteristics.
Yes, your characteristics or your character, because
your character,
yeah.
So
Let's talk about the characteristics one. So definitely, Blacka. Blacka is who?
Blacka is the person who is darker than dark.
Right. Blacka.
So once you hear, that's a common name in Jamaica, by the way. Nickname, Blacka.
And around every corner, there's a Blacka.
Blacka, yes. There's a person who is of dark shade, and we just say Blacka. No harm.
Also,
no harm meant, no insult.
No.
It's just taken as a given that you're blacker
they
than the
actually
rest.
embrace it. I'm Blacker man. They don't feel any kind of way. They
no
know.
offense, right?
I known 2 Blacker my entire life.
Yeah.
I remember one of my uncle's friends. This was the first time I've really it was like an aha moment for me. My uncles have the same friends because they went to the same school, and they always talk about shot foot. I'm like, shot foot? I'm like, I've never experienced who is shot foot. And I finally met Shotfoot, and I understood why his name was Shotfoot. He shot himself in the foot with a gun, and that's the name that they have given him. And the whole neighborhood call him Shotfoot.
No, I tell you.
So that's a character right there.
Yeah.
We don't mince words, right?
Yeah, we don't guess and spell as to what your name is. As long as your characteristics are shown, you're going to get a nickname some way, somehow.
Right.
Could be the slightest thing.
And then what is a Chinese person or a light-skinned person?
Chin, Mr.
Right.
Chin.
Mr. Chin or Chin, right.
Our Chinaman.
Yeah, China. Again, they are not offended by any way. They understand where they are.
Yes.
It's just you're Mr. Chin or you're Chin. That's just what it is. And they embrace it. They write it on their backpacks. I mean name Chin. So
Yes.
that's just what it is.
And
I have a cousin named Chin.
these are terms of endearment, people. They're
Right.
not derogatory names. They're
And
endearing names. Just want to make
and
sure I add that.
although this one is derogatory to Indians, in Jamaica they don't mind.
Coolie.
Coolie man, they don't mind it at
Right.
all. I'm telling you this because that's just they know how Jamaicans are. We are very forward with our nicknames.
Yes.
Very forward.
And it
with our
just describes the characteristics of the person.
nicknames. Right.
Nothing derogatory that we have learned coming from the name Cooley. So we can't
Right,
put our
right.
hands on that and say, well, this is a bad name. And I don't think we've
Right.
changed that concept in Jamaica, have we?
No, I don't think so. I still hear it often about.
Yeah.
So maybe not. So are you ready to reveal what your nickname is, Tira?
No.
Come on. Come on. It's not like the people don't know. And we don't understand. It's a maroon word.
All right, let me reveal. Let me reveal.
Good. Uh-huh.
For some reason, my grandfather came up with the name, and I don't know where he got it from. But when I was a baby or as a kid, they called me Chunko, shortening for Chunkonani, and I never understand what that meant.
But Dad, I know what it means. That's why I was like, I thought you knew what it means.
I've never done the research on it.
Were you a fat baby?
A little bit pudgy, yes.
Yeah, that's what it means.
But that would be chunky.
No, it's a maroon word.
Oh,
Chunku.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Buju and Chunku, it's kind of the same family.
Okay.
Yes. I thought you knew that.
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't do the study. I just accepted the name and go along with it.
I thought you knew that. No.
Anybody who calls me by the name Chunko knows me from I was a little boy, or where I grew up,
within the family.
Or within the family.
Yeah, because it's Uncle Chunko.
Yes.
Right.
For my nieces and nephews.
Yeah. I have multiple nicknames. I'm sorry, and laugh as you must. Each of them came from my uncles based on what they see first when they greet me. So, from my uncle Dave is Niecey. Of course, I'm his niece, and depending on the day, half pint.
Uh-oh.
I am short.
Didn't get that from me.
Yeah. Half pint. My other one is, here's this one. I don't know where he got this from. I think he was speaking from the ancestors or something. No so be. No so be. When no so be, I'm like, it sounds very African.
Yeah.
And he's the youngest one in the family. He's my youngest uncle. I don't know where that comes from. It sounds very African. I don't know where that came from.
That's Popsy, huh?
And then Uncle Popsy. And then what is it? So Kevin on the other hand,
your cousin.
Kevin is my cousin. And again, we don't know where Kevin comes from. That's not his government name. So I don't know if he looks like a Kevin or he behaves like a Kevin. I don't know what Kevin's behave like, but Kevin is his yard name. He was one of those, I don't know, it was very different to kind of like, differentiate what that came from. And as you said, Popsy before, that's not my uncle's name.
Right.
That's
his nickname. I don't know his real name. I know him as Popsy.
Because he was closer to my grandfather. Like, you're like a mama's boy, so he was probably like a papa's boy. So Popsy.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Simple. And he used to work with my grandfather. So there you go, Popsy. That's Popsy's,
Yeah.
So it's just a whole lot of things that comes with your name. Another one to describe, I guess a general one. You like this one? Fatty boom boom. Listen, we're not fat shaming. Those things don't exist in Jamaica. It's just that's how it is. It's actually a compliment, and we only give it to the women. No man is called fatty boom boom, and I was actually called that as a young one. So yes, fatty boom boom is definitely up there.
Fatty boom boom.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's the sound. It's the sound that you make when you're walking and you are fat. So fatty boom boom.
there was a song. Do you know there was a song? Hey, Fatty boom boom. Never
No,
heard
no,
that song.
no, no, no.
Hey, Fatty boom boom. Sweet sugar
Actually,
plum plum.
yes. There you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
They used to sing that. Mhm.
Right? So let me just get a little bit of time here to explain this. Fatty is not a derogatory term in Jamaican or Jamaican language, Jamaican culture. If someone says fatty, hey fatty, it's not an insult. It's not to offend you. It's to describe you.
Uh-huh.
We look at fat as a little bit different. It might be the culture might be changing a little bit, shifting on the American side. But fat is not a banned or taboo word, right? If you're fat, you're fat. As a matter of fact, people would rather have you say describe you as fat more than you're skinny or maga or meager,
Right, right.
right?
MAGA.
So people would say when you come from overseas and say you're fatty, wow, you look oh you're so fat. It's like they're giving you a compliment, right? So the perspectives are a little bit
Yeah,
different in Jamaican culture and in the Caribbean. It's a complimentary,
right,
well received term in Jamaica. So we have to make sure we can explain that. Because if you juxtapose
right.
that with the American culture, it's totally different, right?
Well, in the American culture, that would be translated as
Thickums,
thickums.
right,
Thickums. Yeah, that's what they would call somebody who is, they call,
right.
oh, she thick.
And
That's a
that's
compliment
going to be
for the most
more
part.
pertaining to the African American or black culture, right?
Right.
So there's a bit of difference with the Caucasian culture or other races, right? They might not be so welcoming of being called fat or thick.
All right, Dad. So, we're still on people at this point. So, dondos.
Dundos are dundos.
Dundu, but I call it dondos. You call it dundus.
Dundos.
Right. That's a person who is on the albino side.
Yes.
Right.
And I couldn't explain
That's we don't
where
know
it
where
came
that comes from.
right?
No, we don't. And I bet it has some African roots for sure.
Possibly. And if anybody's heard of the DJ Yellowman,
Right.
Yellowman got his nickname from his characteristics of being an albino, his physical attributes of being an albino. So, without any calculation, we Jamaicans just naturally revert to, again, he's yellow. So, Yellowman.
Yeah.
And that's the famous stage name of one of our prolific DJs or legendary DJs
Yeah.
in the business, in the music
Zungu
business.
zungu go
Yeah.
zungu zing.
So if you say Yellowman, you probably most people don't even know his real name. So
Dang, I didn't even know his real name.
so Yellowman is the name that most people know Yellowman from, and nothing else. So there you have it.
All right. Our topic on the Jamaican dialect is there's so many topics to cover. I try to categorize them so we can talk about them in detail, but I don't think we can contain this in this episode for sure. We have a lot more to talk about. So I think we have to have a part 2 talking about the Jamaican dialect in the
For sure.
next episode of Make We Reason. Maybe there's 3 or 4. But we definitely want you to experience it and learn along the way. So we're going to put other information in the next episode so we can continue to educate you. So, okay, now we have to go into our feedback for sure. So catch us in the next episode where we continue on this topic. I just want to say thank you to our listeners and those who have commented on our social media pages. I have some comments from Instagram. in reference to the Dear Called Pastor episode, our episode 3. And Blacketon, our resident DJ, Mekwe Reason asks, would you know if you were in a cult? A question to ask yourself. And Blacketon said the leader would have strange behaviors. Yeah, okay, that's one. And another follower said from the KLTM family said it would be a feeling, like they would go with their gut feeling, and they would actually tell if the words or how the people were acting were not according to the Holy Bible, and if they were crossing biblical boundaries. So that's how she knows she's in a cult, if they weren't going by the word. Sammy BSN also said she would, if she wants to ask questions and she couldn't ask questions, that would be a hint. And anything that goes against normal beliefs and norms, she would then question that. She would, if she would duly note that, or anything that didn't make sense to her would be a red flag, because she know Yamed. All right. So that's how she would know she was not in a cult. Thank you so much for your comments, and remember to follow us at Mekwireason, MEKWIREASON on Instagram. What did Facebook Massive have to say to you, Rob? Or what else did we get?
Yeah, well, I got an email. We got an email from one of our loyal listeners, Ruth Phillips.
Okay.
And she says, in reference to Rummed business, she's not a drinker, but she has witnessed some crazy things. And she gives a story of actually attending a function at Eglin Air Force Base with her and her husband. And so there was obviously alcohol at this function. And she was describing that this young guy had so much to drink. He went to the bathroom to use the bathroom, and he forgot why he was going to the bathroom. Her husband went into the bathroom and saw this young man face down in the bowl, the toilet bowl of vomit.
Yeah.
With his pants down below his ankles, fast asleep in the toilet.
Yikes.
So this is what rum can do to you. Alcohol can do to you. So she recalls that story. Then she took a trip to Jamaica and realized one of the very thing we were talking about, in that the Jamaican police, it was lockdown hours during COVID, right? And the police are supposed to be on duty at the checkpoints to make sure that everyone is off the street. But while they're doing their duties, the policemen are going into the bars and ordering liquor and alcohol for their fellow co-workers. So they're drinking on the job. And it was well after hours that everyone should be off the street.
Jamaican police no behavior sometimes.
So this just summarizes the very point we made in that episode, where we talk about the normalization of drinking on the job, especially as a law enforcement officer.
True.
And I don't know who's enforcing the rules, if there are rules within the organization about not drinking on the job, but we take it as it must be acceptable because it's still happening apparently, right? So who is keeping or enforcing the law when the law is apparently being broken, with alcohol? So
I feel like it's when nobody watching them, like the superintendent or something, when nobody's watching them.
Right.
They tend to do that. But
exactly. Yeah. So thank you for those two stories, Ruth. Big ups, and continue to listen. Remember to follow us on Facebook. As a matter of fact, interact or engage with us on our Facebook page. Mek We Reason. 3 words.
And then And then if you don't want to share your information for everyone to see, you can do two ways. You can email us at mecquereasonpodcast@gmail.com, or just go to the Facebook page and set up a nice little button there for you to just send an email. So you just click send email, it will come right to us. So, you can send us some information without anybody knowing. You can say, okay, don't say my name, and we'll definitely honor that.
Yes, and make we keep on reasoning.
Yes.
All right. Thank you again for all the feedback and your interactions.
Now it's time for Brata. Yes. All right. So this week, for the foodie I am, I like to give you a chance to go visit Copeland's. It's a New Orleans style restaurant. I've only been to the one here in Atlanta, Georgia. But let me tell you, the the ambiance, the atmosphere, the low lighting, the food, it's so delicious. And oh my goodness, it's just amazing. It's just I've never had New Orleans food prior to going to Copeland's, but let me tell you, I think this is it. I think this is what it is. And I probably have to go to New Orleans to really to compare the two. But let me tell you, that lobster and corn bisque would just, oh my gosh, it's amazing. So I'm salivating right now. So Copeland's is a place to go for New Orleans style food. It's just lovely. The staff is wonderful, and the food is just amazing. So Copeland's, cut a check.
Can we get that? Can we get that in California?
I
Are they
don't know
located?
that. I don't
Okay.
know. You have to look it up, but it's amazing. It's COPELAND apostrophe S.
Okay.
So maybe, you
Good
can
enough
look
to
around
do a
and see
Google
it.
search.
Yes.
All right.
So,
Definitely, if I see it, I'm there
oh yeah.
because you gave such a hearty description of how their service was.
Oh man.
Beautiful
Salivating when I think
Brata.
about it. This episode of Make We Reason is sponsored by BeautifullyRooted.com. Bridging the gap, all in Christ.
Hey guys, I'm Katty Elias. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I founded Beautifully Rooted, a Christian mental health and education corporation. We educate women on healthy relationships, healthy thinking, and healthy living, all in Christ. We also have a weekly podcast that my husband Manny and I host called The Rooted and Edified Show for both men and women. It is a conservative Christian talk show showcasing the 4 T's: testimonies, topics, talents, and theology. Check out our website, beautifully.rooted.com, spelled BEYOU.
In the next episode of Make We Reason, we have more Jamaican slangs and phrases and, Patois words to talk about. Like round deso, bang your belly, and we have a what not, but we also have a what's it not. Okay? So, we're definitely going to approach these things and try to explain to you as much as possible what they mean. So definitely stand by, listen for the next episode. Yeah, we have so much to talk about. So thank you for listening. And who said this? Wow, good. Miss Lou, right? So let us do that. Pete, what you have to say to the people?
I have to say, listen, the Jamaican language is such an interesting language. That dialect is so interesting. So join us and stay tuned and learn a little bit of language. All right?
Daddy-daughter duo out.
Tee you up.